Alright everyone, welcome back to Champions of the Fog. We have loaded in for a new map. It is the Wrecker's Yard, and we have a Huntress mirror. This is the finals. All previous sets resulted in 2-0 matches. So we are going to be going into the finals here. It's going to be Shattered versus the Bone Hunters. And I'm curious if any survivors are going to be spotted early or not. Looks like we do have a bit of frame shares again. I think I called it in the beginning. Out of the 9 killers in the first 3 rounds, I think Deathslinger is the only one that doesn't have frame sharing. Even my beloved Trickster has frame sharing, which is just super unfortunate. I'm hoping that in the next patch it gets addressed. And if not, I am going to cry. But in the meantime, survivors have definitely stealthed out to the edges of this map. Gabriel and Shiva having a viewing and staring contest with this rock here in the back. Nancy hanging out at the fun bus. Killer does have good perspective on a lot of locations. Looks like the Huntress will be checking all around these areas. They might come into contact with the Nancy potentially. We do see a lit totem there, so the Bone Hunters will be aware that there is a bone to tickle here in the corner. Most likely a blood favor, and Nancy will take chase in the beginning. Nasty miss, as that is going to be Babushka Okapt. It is Machine Gun Huntress here. Good line for distance. And Shiva coming over to work on said bone. And we'll take a tag for their efforts. And take 2 tags for their efforts. That is Machine Gun Huntress for you. However, we do see that yellow bar. They may be trying to take some aggro here, as Nancy maybe is a survivor they want to protect. Not sure. But regardless, Nancy will be holding at this loop here. There's the drop in. Not going to get enough distance there. Going back for the pickup. Oh man, I think that Unbreakable might have been 99'd, and first hooked coming in for the Huntress here. We see survivor far in the distance on a generator. And not sure if that was a pain res or not. But regardless, 2 separate gens being worked on at the moment. It looks like it was not a pain res. However, these are 2 really close hooked survivors. Now again, because that is the pain res though, so that will prevent a gen from popping immediately. Again, these are a little bit different rules from League. Oh, and a failed skill check to boot. Unfortunate. Huntress hearing that she has line of sight over the top of this tile from the hill. That is gross. So survivors are allowed to self-unhook if this Huntress stays too close for too long. However, it looks like Ace will take a tag for the unhook on Sheva. Sheva also take a protection hit. Nancy getting unhooked in the meantime. Ace running to the wind with that blood favor still up though. Ooh, a quick miss from the Sheva. And she will be on the receiving end of a tunnel out here, getting hit over the top of the pallet. Looks like survivor's gonna be running back. Ooh, but they see the Ace. Ace needs to be careful here. And they will take a tag. They will finish a gen in the meantime, though. But this Huntress on 2 separate occasions. On 2 separate occasions has had 2 slugs on the ground and immediately going back for the Sheva. But there is a decisive strike at the exact same time, signaling a gen pop. And getting across that pallet, that is a good use of decisive. Interesting use of a flashlight to try and, you know, mess with the Huntress a little bit. However, I don't know if it's going to pay off for them. No, it's not. It is not, in fact, going to pay off for them, as they will probably go and hook the Ace now. Server's running away from that finished gen. Huntress having a very commanding spot at the moment. But it could just also be the fact that, you know, Huntress does Huntress things on this map. We don't actually see Huntress in regular League play very often on this map, because it usually ends up banned as you just don't want to deal with her hitboxes, and pop goes the Weasel from the Huntress as well being revealed. So all 4 perks are known. It is Corrupt Intervention, Scourge, Hook, Pain, Resonance, Blood Favor, and pop goes the Weasel, getting back in chase with Sheva. Unsure of if she got picked up or an Unbreakable. Looks like we do see a Deliverance, however, from the Ace. Sheva doing her best at this loop, doing a really good job to hold the Huntress here. As survivors double up on a gen and split gens as well. Oh, the dead hard. Not going to pay off there. Very, very close. And this will be second hook coming in for Sheva. A lot of perks on this Survivor here. We've seen Decisive, we've seen Dead Hard, we've seen Unbreakable. This Survivor is not one to be trifled with. Pain Res coming in on the most progressed generator, which is not the one right there, and that one's going to get popped, goes the Weasel. Shiva has one of the best screams in the game. It's so good. Props to the voice actor. And yeah, it looks like the Survivors will be able to get a Jenner over here done. Gabriel doubling out with the ace, and they will go for a reset here. Looks like Nancy might have the eye of the Huntress potentially. Not sure. Reset will happen. And yeah, Nancy is going to be in the sights here. Not taking a tag over the rock. However, this might result in an M1. It will. And she'll be running back into the middle of the map. She does have resource. We see Windows giving her plenty of options to look for. But however, I think she is more interested in securing this stage. However, we do see Ace running in for the unhook here. Reassurance coming in clutch once. No, it's Gabriel. Gabriel's coming in here. Phenomenal reassurance play. It looks like they kept the overcome lucky break, but Huntress not having any of it. That machine gun style hatchet doing some work there, but they do have to be careful. They can't stick around here for too long. That unhook bar will start ticking up. Yeah, it is slowly ticking up, but not super fast, especially with these two Survivors jamming the gen. Survivors, despite having a Survivor on the ground and on hook, not in the worst spot, but yeah, that unhook is going to start kicking down again, and it looks like Sheva's days are over. Reassurance doing some work, but not enough. Huntress seeing the two Survivors over on this generator, wanted to put some pressure and push them off. Nancy be pushed behind Funbus, and I think you can take this hook here. Again, this Survivor hasn't been hooked and represents a potential pain resonance if they are able to find one. Looks like it is not a pain res, as that gen did not get popped, unless there's another 199 somewhere. Huntress taking shots at the Nancy, but going to miss. Ace hanging around the side. But I say Huntress can zone this pretty well. Looks like they're going for the Nancy here. Pop applied to that generator as expected. Nancy holding. Oh, it's brave. Super brave. Yeah, but I say there's only so many mind games here you can do against Huntress. The unhook does occur. Nancy on the ground. That heal is going to work, though. Just in time for Ace to drop it and let him take a hit. I guess if you do have We'll Make It, you do want to let that happen. Looks like the totem will be getting worked on here potentially as they go back to hook the Nancy. Huntress doing really, really good. They do get Blood Favor. It's like Gabriel going for their own totem, probably with an inner healing in mind, as the Survivors should be well aware of all 4 perks at this point. This gen had so much progress, and now it has none. It's going to be really tough. Those are 2 really close gens to each other. And especially with that, you have the hill so perfectly positioned, too, to see over. It's just so hard. Like, that hill is absolutely perfect for zoning these 2 gens. You don't get that super often, but it is going to do some work. Ooh, a little bit of a long ways around to try and get that, and that is not going to work out. It will be a hook trade, and Ace will go down for their efforts. I was about to say, that long way around may not paid off. And now Nancy loop once again with the Huntress, but going to leave the loop, hold W and try and get some distance. Make it to main building maybe, but Huntress will zone and cut them off here at the truck. We do see, however, that endurance status effect. So this, and this river is quiet. That is, in fact, a off the record coming in, and it's going to get them distance here if they decide to commit to this. She is Death Hook, whereas the other 2 aren't. I'm imagining Gabriel, after the heal with inner healing, is probably going to try and get a gen done. Trying there at 50%, but the Huntress does hear it. Or do they? Yeah, I don't think Huntress heard it initially, but now with 2 Survivors on the ground, Gabriel in chase. This might be the 4K3 here. Good flare. The Huntress predicting the flare, but not going to be enough. Taking the M1, going back towards the Ace. They need to pre-drop this pallet. They didn't pre-burn the pallet! But they do have Lucky Break that just expired. Maybe able to get away with the Overcome Lucky Break tech. Yeah, it looks like they're going for the Nancy pickup here, so they will secure Death Hook on Nancy. Lucky for the survivors not to go down right now, but that is going to be another Pop Goes the Weasel for the gen that was being worked on by Gabriel. Survivors have to reset. They might be able to get a, like, one more gen, make it a 4K2. But given the situation, I think things are a bit too dire, and it's going to be tough. Use this friendly reminder that we are partnered with Rogue Energy for 10% off using code COTF, as it is keeping me hydrated and energized for these games, as these games take some energy to cast. I'm not gonna lie. I know that sounds weird, but these games are high-paced, high-action, high-octane, and my goodness, they actually stealth that out. Hunter's coming around to the reset point, but doesn't recognize that they're there. Very, very stealthy survivors here. However, she does catch a sight of the ace. Now the question is, can they finish another gen? Can Gabriel get back to the gen that got popped? Ooh, looking around, they might have been able to stealth out through the cars. No, I think they see them. Good use of sprint burst to get behind the cars once again. Good job wasting time and taking as much of this Huntress time. I think if the ace is able to hold out, it's a 4-lane. If they can work this 4-lane well, they can look at potentially getting a gen done. However, if Huntress doesn't get this down in 20-30 seconds, I think she'll leave off and go back to that generator. Vaulting through the long wall here. Ace going around to the pallet, holding W through it. No place to flare and getting stuck on the wall. Oh, they hold through it. Dropping the firecracker, but it's going to be a bit too early. And it will go down under the pallet. Huntress content with this, not even to go check for the Gabriel. Saying, fine, you can get the 4K too. Oh, but it's only 40%. And the pain, they knew they had a pain res left on Ace. That might be all the Huntress needs to go back and finish this game off at a 4K3. Making a very, very strong first game for Shattered. And it's going to be very difficult, I would say, for Bone Hunters to hold this up. This is a rough Huntress game for the survivors. And again, I don't want to put it to RNG. The Huntress has had some phenomenal chases. But this hill overlooking so many generators is oppressive. And the Huntress, again, props to the Huntress for noticing that and taking full advantage of it. The Huntress doing a wonderful job of that. Ace not wanting to die just yet. I think they recognize that if they die now, it's game over for the survivor. Not going to be able to get any stages out. Or maybe going to take a hit and then use the overcome to get to the hatch? About to say, no, I don't think the Hunter's going to have any of that. She's like, yeah, you're going to get body blocked. Unless they get the prompt. I'm about to say, I don't think Gabriel quite has the prompt there. The Huntress very, very knowledgeable about where that is, and with a pre-drop, I think we are in a 1v1 scenario. Just not much able to be done here. Survivors did the best they could, but this Huntress played with absolute lethality. And that will be the 4K 3 gens remaining for Shattered in set number 1 of the finals of this qualifier number 5. Well played to both sides, but we'll be moving into trial number 2 with Bone Hunter's own Huntress, seeing how they fare. With that said, thank you all for watching. We'll be back in just a short intermission as we will play some ads, run a replay. We couldn't do it without you, the sponsors of today's show and prior seasons. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back in just a short moment. All right, everyone, welcome back to Champions of the Fog. It is now time for Bone Hunters to return fire. on the survivors from Shattered. So we are loading it once again to the Wrecker's Yard. You do see that beautiful, sweet, corrupt intervention as normal. It is the Baba Yaga skin. Love to see it. And it looks like they have started chase with Kate right off the bat here. Looks like we do see the Machine Gun Huntress skin as Kate takes chase at the Fun Bus. Good job around this loop so far. However, oh, a great flare from Kate is going to get them a little bit extra distance. Another great flare, getting the pallet set as well. Really good start from the survivors as Huntress going to have to reload here to continue this chase with Kate. As Kate holds back into the 6, and looks like Huntress is not going to have any more of it. It's going to be looking around for a different set of survivors. Looks like they see Ace up on the top baiting a shot. Renato also here. It looks like all 3 survivors here as they are desperate to get this hill gen done. Looks like they're going to be taking chase with Renato potentially. This is a pretty good set of rocks for it. Renato being very patient here, but I say you can't throw over that, unfortunately. The hitbox for Huntress's hatchet is a bit too large, but they do hold W through it, and that will be... Ooh, I can't tell if that's a bit of auto-aim or just unfortunate, but even slow vaulting over it, possibly to preserve life or mess with the Huntress. Good attempt there, but I'm going to pre-drop this one. Good knowledge of how to use these tiles, and Renato going to get away once again without a hit. 1 gen down for the survivors. Huntress going to have to pick up the pace here as the previous set was a 4K, 3 gens remaining. And they do get hit around the corner. Oof. About to say, that hitbox looks rough, but that is to be expected as they are playing from different parts of the world here. Renato holding this pallet, not wanting to go anywhere just yet. Oh my goodness, that could have been a hit, but not quite able to manage it. And there is a survivor here. Looks like there might be a hit tank coming in. Looks like that will be the case potentially. Oh my goodness, a great bait there. Using the... Look at the check spots from the survivor through the walls of this tile. And there's the Lithe coming into play, getting a little bit around the corner. Huntress with another survivor trying to come in and bait with the flashlight. 2 gens down. So Huntress needs to essentially kill everyone right now in order to hold this to a tie. Win condition here definitely starting to slip away potentially. And it looks like there was a hit tank from Meg. No blind coming in. They will, however, vault the pallet. I think Huntress might be out of hatchets. She is. And with Claudette 70% on this generator, Meg coming over, possibly get a heal. Kate working on her own gen. Now, looks like they're leaving Renato all together. Meg over here pressuring the gen, possibly pressuring Meg. Yeah, pushing Meg away from the generator, but the gen will be completed regardless. Meg going down, first down of the game, but the 3rd gen does pop. And that will be set number 1 going in favor of Shattered. Ooh, Claudette using Sprint Burst to get out of dodge and will successfully avoid the first hatchet. Getting into the TNL here. Around the corner, vaulting through it, double vaulting, but the Huntress reads it and will get a tag on Claudette. Claudette going back deep into 6, no man's land, but Huntress does not commit. We do see a deadlock here. Or potentially a dead man switch, actually, as that gen had popped a while back. It was like 1 more gen down, 1 more to go. Deadlock on another gen. Huntress pot-shotting into the distance, but Claudette will finish their heal in time. Looks like we see scratch marks from another survivor. Kate also heading back over here. Claudette setting up for the unhook, but Huntress does get a tag onto them. It's going to be forcing them away from the unhook. And they will go to second, trying for the 4%. Claudette does go down. Kate almost done with the generator, probably leaving it in the capable hands of Renato, as second hook is going to be coming in very shortly. I'm guessing survivors may have... Yeah, there is, in fact, a pain res, so they were right to play around that. And that would be first hook for Claudette. Meg does get unhooked. However, Baba Yaga hot on their trail and taking a tag. Looks like that might have been the last possible second of BT. I think that was. I think it was the last possible second of BT. Getting the blind on Baba Yaga. Another chain blind coming in. They do get the unhook on Claudette. Meg going to force the pick. No head-on coming in. And it looks like they will go for the slug play here, not wanting to force the pick. I don't know if the Huntress has any choice though. There's the... Oh my goodness, there's the hatchet flying off in the distance, but Huntress will have to take this. And unfortunately for this survivor, they did have decisive strike. But the last gen finishing cuts the timer short, and Meg, betrayed by her fellow teammates to not get the decisive, will be sent back to the campfire via the entity. But these other survivors looking to get out of here. Kate being found at the TNL. Mind game number one, they do go through it, but taking the tag, getting distance. Look at that overcome value. However, this door not completed. Woo, flying shot, but 2 lights left. Renato also injured. Can't be very careful here. Claudette gonna have to finishing it here. No, looks like Claudette is in chase next to it. Claudette will take an M1, heading away from the door now. Looks like, however, they found the reset spot. Oh my goodness, that was so well played. And it looks like the Huntress is gonna have to cut off and go after the Kate. I say survivors not in the best position because they all got a reset, but at the same time playing this very smart, which is not going to let anyone get to that door in any meaningful time. So oh my goodness, you can see both of these exit gates from a similar location. That is disgusting. However, I think this is Claudette. She's going to go back deep into 6 once again, force them to commit, and that will be the gate open. And it looks like there's at least a 2-man out. Huntress taking the down in the back here. And it looks like they will leave Claudette for dead. Huntress securing a 6-stage 2K. And the survivors walking away victorious in set number 1. We'll be going into set number 2 here very shortly, as it is going to be a Deathslinger mirror coming up next. And alright everyone, welcome back to Champions of the Fog. We are loading in for a Deathslinger game, and blessed frames. We can finally see the game from the killer's perspective and not have to guess which survivor they're going to be chasing at any given time. Looks like they found Kate right off the bat in their corrupt zone. Kate already running away. A little bit of scoping going on, but Kate doing a really good job holding. Probably going to look for an M1 and maybe try and follow it up with a quick shot. But again, being a 110 killer, it is tough to catch up on those tight loops. Good job from the survivor, already dropping this pallet. Not want to take any chances from getting shot across from it. Heading back into the top of the map here at 12. There is a pallet for them to hold on to, though. However, Mind Game's coming in. They might get a shot across the top. Yeah, they will, and not going to be able to drop that pallet. That'll be first down incoming. 1 gen already going down. I imagine it's going to be a somewhat central gen. Looks to be the case. There might have been 2 gens near the center, as we do see that Shack gen still up. And I imagine that might have been 3 survivors on that generator. Again, not uncommon for 2, if not 3 survivors to jump on a central gen and try and get it done, as it is the most crucial gen for survivors to complete to avoid any potential nasty 3-gen scenario. It looks like it might have actually been 2, as this one also has a good amount of progress over with a pain res and a pop goes the weasel to come in. This gen also is not going to hold very much longer. We do see the Warden's Keys and the ammo belt is going to be a very quick reload. And it does make sense. Even with the reload speed base buffed, it is objectively a buff. It's not the most insane noticeable buff. You still want those reload add-ons. You still want that real fast reload. But I understand also being hesitant to have too quick of reload. And ooh, Claudette not able to get out in front of this. And Claudette looking down, it's like, oh, sorry about that. Claudette doing her best to try and take a hit for her fellow survivor, but not going to take it. Really good vault there, and they will take a tag regardless. M1 coming in. However, there is the 4 people coming in on the Meg. That's what I would be worried about. Knowing that this is unlike regular competitive with, you know, bans and balancing, with everything allowed, I would be scared of the 4 people buckle up play, as it is very strong. However, maybe Kate also having decisive strike. Maybe it's not a loss for the Deathslingers. 2 gens down now, as we got 3 survivors injured, but no one on a hook. Going back up into the top of the map again, taking them to the dead zone. Saying, this time, I'm going to get used to that pallet. Deathslinger doing a little bit of dance at the pallet, however, and will get the shot, but this is what I was talking about. Able to get that pallet drop just in time. 3 gens down now. Survivors going super fast here. Here comes the zoning, getting the shot on the Kate. This will be another down. Survivors have not reset just yet. There are still gens back here that need to be broken, but Survivors doing a really good job getting as many done. There's the reset on the Claudette. I imagine with Meg no longer being broken from the 4 people, they will also be coming in for a heal and reset. However, Deathslinger looking to make this a 3v1 ASAP. There's the heal on Meg. Survivors have reset. Second hook. Deathslinger looking around for a generator to go kick. A little bit of progress at the main. It's worth a kick. You get a little bit of progress off of this. There's the reset and unhook on Kate. Do they get the heal off in time? Maybe a will make it. They are still behind here, I think. Or do we see scratch marks? The killers see scratch marks going off the distance, then they are going to pursue. I say now you go with Kate. They get the 4 people off. That is huge. However, Meg will take a tag for their efforts. Kate not going to bother taking a hit here. We do see them behind there. Do they go for a hook? No, they want the Kate. I might have gone for a pain res there, but yeah, I'm about to say, I think you need the pain res and the pop here. The 4 people is just too strong. And if there is a pain res nearby, oh, I don't think you make that hook. Oh, that's going to be close. Maybe, just maybe. Oh, that's so close. That is such a close hook. Not to mention, if a survivor decided to come at any point and take a hit for that, you would not have made it. I've seen so many survivors in the regular season take a hit for the pain res for a long walk, and the killer gets punished. Kate, nowhere to be seen. Claudette coming in, trying to get the gen. Decent progress on Central Gen as well. Survivors doing really, really good against the Deathslinger. Deathslinger trying to fight back, but again, that 4 people just super strong. Meg running straight back into the killer's line of fire. You gotta be careful. The killer can just hit you and hold you hostage here. Not gonna bother. I'm surprised they didn't use their shots. You can hold them hostage with the BT, but regardless, killer will get their pint of blood here. And coming back towards the central gen, pushing the Kate off of it. I think they thought they could commit to it, but not enough, and that's gonna be 2.5% off the gen. Not to mention Kate in a bit of trouble, pushing Renato around as well, getting the, oh my goodness, that was a beautiful scope. And Kate not coming back to work on the generator. Looking around, and I think they're going to go for the hook here. I'm about to say, if You go to basement here. Oh, but there's a decisive strike in hand from the Meg. That is huge. Going down once again. The question is, yeah, but I think they're working on that generator. They'd be careful. There's no, there's no deadlock in the final gen in the back goes as well. So much back and forth. Incredible job. And that will be second hook for Meg. However, it's looking like the killer has a little bit of a present for our survivors, as we do see that haste status effect in the corner of, I'm sorry, it's not the corner, it's the side of the screen. However, we see, that totem's lit right there. Survivors open the exit gate. They need to be careful. If they're healing in the exit gate and they take a shot here, they go for the unhook. I think they might be in for a rude awakening. If this killer finds a fresh survivor, they could be in for a whole bunch of hook stages. Looks like they sent the... Actually, I don't know who they sent. There's Meg. Ooh, swing and a miss. I think the killer might be baiting out a hit tank here. If a survivor comes in for the hit tank, they'll take the no-ed. Oh, but they send the Kate. Smart move, as that survivor was worth X amount of, or only 1 point, and not able to get the shot. They could have secured maybe an additional stage, but that will be 5 stages to the killer and a 3-man out. But that's the survivor you send to take a hit tank. If Kate took a body block, then it's great. If they go down for no-ed, it's the same thing as if they didn't. Really smart play there, and honestly, very heads-up play from Shattered Survivor Squad. As we go into trial number 4 here very shortly. It's going to be really, really close, as again, now it is Shattered's turn to crack out the Death Slinger. All right, everyone, welcome back to Champions of the Fog. We are loading in for the 4th trial. It is either the halfway point or the final trial of this qualifier. Again, we got another qualifier tomorrow, qualifier number 6. And it looks like Deathslinger already finding a survivor back here in the corner. Seems like they might have turned up and gone back into the map instead of hanging out at Fun Bus. They do have a 4-lane here, and they have a pallet connected to it. Ooh, that was a nasty scope. And a good fake. First hit coming in on the Nancy. Krupp still up here. And the survivors are going to be aware of a very interesting perk that I don't see very often, called Dissolution. So any and all pallets that are vaulted from here on out are no fun. And Nancy will be able to vault in just the nick of time, as Dissolution did just expire. Using light to get a little bit of distance as well, but not able to get back fully into the map. And they will have to go 2-12, and it looks like they are going to get corner potentially, unless they get around. No, there is no pallet here. And that will be first down for the Death Slinger. Background player flashlight coming in. How dare you? I'm getting flashbacks to Qualifier 1, where a survivor came in and did the exact same thing. But it is all allowed here in the qualifiers. There are no perk bans, and a nasty shot here coming in from the Death Slinger. Unfortunately for them, no Purple Cigar to reduce that fatigue cooldown. Trying maybe to get a shot through the window here. Doubling back again. Mind games coming in around this pallet, but I think that Kate sees right through it. Dropping the pallet. Trying to get a shot, but not going to be able to get it. They will have to go for the pallet break here. First gen falling for the survivors. Kate staying at this loop, surprisingly. I guess they are confident. Ooh, just barely missing that shot. Vaulting through, and they do get behind it, but again, as a 110 killer, I don't think you make this, and Kate not going for it. There's a second gen going down. Will there be a third one? Does not seem to be the case. This will be first coming in for Kate. And looks like that comes with no pain res or pop, surprisingly. Very interesting. We're only really aware of corrupt intervention at this point. Very, very interesting. We see a crow flying off. Is that a survivor over here? Does not look like it. The Deathslinger does have a good perch up here, though. Able to zone anyone that comes in for this. I say, you just camp this out to death, and then you find another survivor. Not in a bad spot. Again, if I remember correctly, because this is not quite the same as the regular season points, I believe it goes off of kills first. So if this killer is able to get one kill, followed by a second kill, they're actually, I think they're going to be able to win. I mean, to be fair, that is 6 stages, so... Killer coming in, trying to keep him from getting the unhook, but that will not suffice. However, hits coming in. Quick recovery there. And I think it's safe to say we know what the second perk is potentially. Survivors, if they are keen-eyed, are going to be aware that these hits are pretty dang recoverable, you might say. And that will be a pain res from our killer, resulting in 25% off the most progressed generator. However, another one will finish. That means that 2 gens are really close to finishing. There is the deliverance from Gabe, missing the shot through the window. And it looks like they're going back to Gabriel Soma here, pushing them back into the corner. A lot of gens flying here for the survivors. However, they will go down. Let's see if there is a decisive to be found. Doesn't look to be the case. Killer doesn't really have any kind of gen situation set up. However, all they need to do is kill this survivor, maybe get one more stage, and they're looking at a similar scenario. That should be at least the tie condition. Survivor is definitely slamming gens, though. This gen very close as well. There's the Nancy taking a shot through the window, though. Gabriel does get the unhook. Not going to go after them, though. Oh, this is going to be a basement hook, though, potentially. No. They want them outside the basement. They want to go for a Scourge hook, I think. I mean, you do have Scourge hooks to go for. You've got 3 left, resulting in potentially 75% off the most progressed generator. And that does look to be the case, what they're going to do. Now the survivors have an issue. If anyone besides Gabriel or Kate dies, if Nancy goes down and dies, or Sheva goes down and dies, that's enough for a win con. That is 1 death plus several extra stages. Sheva will take the tag and run away. Deathslinger, surprising amount of pressure despite survivors still being up and at him. Looks like Gabriel cut back towards 12, but again, Gabriel is death hook. Oh, it looks like, no, it's the Kate. If Kate dies here too, any other hook is going to result in loss. Yeah, it looks like Shev is coming over trying to take a hit tank, but there's no gens ready to pop here. Yeah, it looks like Sheva will be going down. All they have to do is put them in the basement and camp it out, and... Well, I guess you can't really camp it. I keep saying to camp it out. Again, normal strats in most comp doesn't apply here because you're actually allowed to self-unhook. Which I'm still not used to. Another Scourge hook coming in. Ooh, trying to 180, get the flick, but not going to get it. Survivor not peeking their head out just yet. I think they recognize this Deathslinger's got some really cracked shots. But Kate coming in for the unhook here. I don't think they realize if Kate dies right here, I think that's death. I think that is all they need. The last game was a 5-stage 1K. This is now a 6-stage 1K. Survivors taking hits. They do get the last generator done, but especially now, this down. Nancy also... I say, if the Deathslinger knows what they're doing, they can get the shot. Yep. This Deathslinger, I'm about to say, any Deathslinger that brings Dissolution is definitely an enjoyer of the killer, as it's not a straightforward perk. It takes a lot of getting used to playstyle adaptation. It's not a straightforward perk to take on this killer. And this killer made phenomenal use of it. And that will be Shattered's killer taking home the 3K seemingly. as I don't know how you get this Nancy out of the game. Deli has already been used. I guess you could 4%. You could 4% here, but with Deathslinger hanging out here with 8 stacks of save the best for last, I don't know how you're going to get the Survivor out of here, I'll be honest. But very well played regardless, and that will be 2-0 in favor of Shatter. So Shatter will take home the W in this qualifier. Sheva, what are you doing? Coming in for the unhook here. Quick reload coming back in, and about to say, I think Nancy knows what's up. She's like, yes, I understand. Nancy fully aware of the fate that besets them. It's an interesting dance, but, you know, I'm glad survivors and killers can occasionally dance. There's the unbreakable from Shiva. Okay, that is actually quite funny. And these survivors will be sent back home in a nice orderly fashion to the campfire via the gentle caressing grasp of the entity's claw. And honestly, well played to all the teams today, but congratulations to Shattered and GGWP to Bone Hunters. They played very, very well. But that will be all they wrote for the qualifiers today. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Again, we have qualifier number 6 coming tomorrow, as I think this marks close to the halfway point for the qualifiers, as qualifiers will continue into February, and then ultimately resulting in a massive tournament for Season 10. So again, thank you all so much for watching. It has been a blast. I have been your host, Little Rugard. I'm a Trickster main enjoyer. I've been producing here at Champions of the Fog for a little over 2 years now, and it has been a blast, and I could not do it without you, the viewers, the sponsors of today's stream. So thank you all for watching.